So tell me what kind of talks you all heard so far this weekend?
Well, we defined the ummah and
Did you? Okay.
School in the raw, can you handle it? And how to be patient and well.
Did you find you could handle school in the raw?
Huh?
Did you find out that you were able to handle school in the raw?
Yeah, I think I made it.
Okay, good. Glad you made it. Okay. I'm sure you guys done a lot of reflecting on what the word patience means, right? For different projects. Yeah. So let me guess. Did y'all read about the prophets, different Sahaba? You know, try to find a source of inspiration for what the word for what patience means, right? So tell me, what did you guys learn? What exactly does patience mean to you? Anyone? Ahmed, what does patience mean to you?
Patience means to strive for what you want and leave the results to God.
Leave the results to God. Okay. So basically, okay. But how does this transfer over to everyday lives? Like, for example, like, say you're in line for something. Like you're at the grocery store. Someone in front of you is taking really long. You gotta go someplace. Someone in front of you is taking really long. Do you just like, what does it take to hold in, just not punching that guy in the face? You're like, I gotta go. You know? Have you thought about that? So what I want you guys to do now, I want you guys to gather all your stuff and sit next to someone that you have never met before. I mean, try to keep it like guys and guys, girls and girls, but just go ahead, come on guys, just go and get up and sit next to someone you've never met.
How you doing? Hey, not bad. Yeah, what's your name? Nick. Hammad. Bilal? Do you know him? Back in the day. That's cool. We grew up together, basically.
Facebook, you know, yeah. So I'm like, you know what? He's lived a lot.
Yeah. Hey, what are we supposed to be talking about? We were just going to talk about you the whole time.
Oh yeah. Talk bad about me.
Oh no, of course not.
Cool bow tie.
Thank you.
Always.
Alright. Is everyone settled?
Come on.
Everyone good? Alright, sure y'all have already introduced yourselves to each other. So basically, like, we can sit here and talk about this philosophical basis about patience. Imam Bilal is here. He'll be talking about that either after me if we have time or tomorrow. I think later tonight, Sheikh Ninoui is going to be speaking. And he's a wonderful speaker. He's going to be talking more about that. But I can convince you, like really convince you that, man, I really need patience in my life. I really need to become that person. But if I don't give you the tools you need to develop this, then I'll have failed as a speaker. So I want to give you guys something that you can take into your everyday lives. Something that after you leave here, you'll be like, all right, I know now like what I can do to become a more patient person. You know, maybe like your parents or friends will even say, oh man, you seem a little different. You know, and maybe you can teach them something. So that's what I'm hoping to get across. I'm going to tell you all basically three things, 3 different points that hopefully y'all can put into practice. So on that note, I want you to turn to the person next to you, and you're going to talk about something really personal.
Oh,
all right?
gosh.
I want you to ask them to share something like, what's their biggest fear? Like, well, what's their biggest fear? Like, what happens when they think about it? You know, what they're trying to do to overcome it. Just go ahead and share something personal with that person next to you.
Can't really talk. People think recorded and they're all that's not what happened. For the sake of the recording. It's recording.
Come on, my fear is losing you.
I mean, he didn't say no. He just left me hanging until I gave up. Basic. And then, right now, where the person I was with for a while, I found out that she's talking. This was like,
Is everyone good?
she was like, at first she was like, oh, I'm not ready to do it. And then later, like a few months later, she thought I was talking to me. Yeah. So, those are some of the things that I've been dealing with.
Is everyone done?
Patience with, like,
Hammad, are you guys done?
no, I'll only finish my story.
Yeah? I'll give you one more minute.
Here's my heart rate.
I guess I'm thinking of different.
Something personal in trouble.
Think about what you said.
You guys good? Alright, Hammad. So, does anyone want to share what they learned about the person next to them? You guys don't want to share? Anyone else? Anyone want to share? Yes,
We
brother.
all fear death.
You all fear death?
Yes. In car accident.
In car accidents? Really? I don't know anything about that. Basically, one of the ways we can develop this, like Zen-like patience when interacting with other people is just to have a simple understanding of them. Having a simple, understanding of humanity. You see, we get so caught up in our own situations, our own hopes, our goals, our dreams, even our frustrations, our anger, that we forget that we're not alone here. That other people have problems too. Other people are sharing, and other people are in the same struggle. So, our ego gets us so caught up in our own circumstances. We think that we have some sort of right to things. We think we're entitled to things in this world. But we're special. The truth is, we're not special. I mean, sorry, I know what your parents told you when you were kids. You're special. You're not. You're not entitled to anything. Once you realize that everything in this life, everything you have, can easily be taken away in like 1 second, one split second, then that's when you'll really be able to appreciate this and be like, I'm not entitled to anything. Everything I have is a blessing. So, I know some of you guys just came in. I asked you all to sit next to someone who you've never even met. Someone totally new. I don't know if you guys want to do that now. Now, just take a few minutes this time. I want you guys to talk about something even more personal. Ask the person next to you when the last time was that they cried.
What was the question? What are you asking?
When the last time was that they cried.
I just finished crying.
Huh?
I just finished crying.
You finished crying?
Like right now.
I don't want to see it.
I was watching Kobe's interview after he got hurt. It just made me cry. It's real talk, bro. It's very emotional.
What do you cry about?
You guys good? Is everyone done? Yes. Ahmed, are you guys done?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and share with you guys when the last time was that I cried. So it was about a year ago.
Really? That long?
Isn't that long? I kind of a problem that I don't cry that often, but it was about a year ago. It was when I found out my roommate in the hospital about 4 years ago. I was in a car accident that put me in this wheelchair, and so we were in the hospital with roommates, and my roommate in the hospital he was this really happy guy, really uplifting guy, always positive. You can never tell that something was bothering him. He was always the most positive guy, always laughing. And then I found out he recently passed away from a pulmonary embolism, something that can happen to any of us. I don't know if you guys know it. pulmonary embolism is. If you sit down for too long, or sit down on a flight for a couple hours, or lay in bed too long, you have blood clot in your legs, and you can travel to your lungs and kill you. So that's something that can happen to any of us at any moment. And the reason it hit me so personally was because that was me. He was only a year older than me. He had gone through the same type of things. So if that could happen to him, that could easily happen to me. I could have died too, just easily. So why am I talking about this? Why did I make y'all go through the exercise and share something real personal with someone you've never even met? Why am I sharing something so personal with all of y'all? That brings me to the first point I want to give y'all about developing patience. See, when we understand that we're not special, that all our struggles and joys that we have, they're not unique, and that we have to let go of this big ego that separates the us and the we from the them. You know what I mean? There's us and there's them. There's something that separates us from other people. Once we break down that barrier and learn to forget about this thing that separates us, that we're not unique, that we're all in this, only then only then can we cultivate this inner peace and inner patience that's needed to interact with one another. I'm just going to end this portion right here with a quote from the psychiatrist Carl Jung. I might be mispronouncing that. I'm a psychology major. Jung? Okay, that's what I thought. He said, everything that irritates us about ourselves, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to a better understanding of ourselves. So, let's move on to something else. How old is everyone here?
25.
20, 14?
22.
What do you say the mean age is about here? We got 14 and 22, so about
17.
17, mean age about 17. So, y'all probably in high school, right? Are y'all tired of being in high school? Yeah? Are y'all ready to go on to college?
Ready to leave college.
Ready to leave college? Well, what are you ready to leave? But you're ready to maybe move out of your house, meet a lot of new people, right? Go to college, not have to stick to a strict schedule. Is that what y'all are looking forward to? What is it? Something like that? And then after college, you said you were worried about, you're looking forward to graduating from college, right? Well, finally getting some money, buying your own car, buying your own house, right?
I'm going to go to medical school. I'm not going to make anything for
Oh, well.
a long time.
I know how that is, but I could ask you also, ask the person next to you what they're looking forward to, but we all see someone's looking forward to something. Everyone here is looking forward to something, right? Their college, their medical school, but it's pretty interesting to think about it. Why are we so interested in the next best thing, next big thing? We're all interested we're all thinking about, I'm thinking about the next step. I'm thinking about college right now. I'm thinking about medical school. I'm thinking about that test I have in a couple weeks. See, we have to ask ourselves what's so important about this next best thing. So we all need to kind of reflect upon why we're all looking forward to things. So I'm going to go ahead and do my own reflecting out loud once again, share something personal. So I had everything going for me. I was accepted in medical school. I had awesome friends. Everything was perfect. I was making my own job. Paid for medical school. I was making money. It was all good. And then, just like that, everything was taken away from me. So as I lay there in the hospital bed at the Shepherd Center 4 years ago, I didn't know what to expect. I just wanted to get out of there. Everyone told me that I'd be better soon. I told myself I'd be better soon. A couple of days maybe, a couple of weeks, that's maximum. And I'll be out here in a couple of weeks. And then the days went by, and then the weeks, and eventually the months. Every single night I went to bed hoping, wishing, praying for a miracle, something would happen. Everyone I knew, close to me, far away, people I didn't know, everyone was praying, Even people going to Hajj and Umrah and praying. I myself, I went to Umrah in my wheelchair after night. and prayed. I held my hands up. Oh God, please heal me. Please heal me soon. But I was let down. My family was let down. My friends were let down. I mean, even still to this day, people ask me, what happened? Yesterday I was at Jummah, leaving the masjid. Someone said, so what happened? Did you break your ankle? And, I remember you when you used to walk a couple years ago. I was like, no, I didn't break my ankle. I probably wouldn't be in a wheelchair driving this type of car if I simply broke my ankle. But I just smiled, responded, explained to them what happened. So why do I smile? It's because I faced death. I know the value in each and every single moment. I understand the fragility of life. You think about it, there was 5 of us in the car at the time of my accident. 5 of us. Yet I'm the only one injured. I'm the only one who's seriously injured. So a few second difference. The difference of a few seconds, a few inches, could have meant that I too would have been perfectly okay. Or maybe that someone else in my family would have been seriously injured. Just a few seconds, a few inches of difference. So, I told you earlier, I cried when my roommate in the hospital passed away. And that could be any of us. So, I think about why be impatient? And we keep looking forward to the next best thing. The next best thing, what else coming next after this? We'll never get there. It'll always be the next best thing. The next thing that's coming. It'll never simply just be the now that I'm enjoying what's now, what's sitting in front of me. Until we make a conscious decision to finally make everything the now. So, once I stop thinking, oh God, when will I be healed? When will I just get out of this wheelchair and start walking in? When will I finally get through these difficult circumstances? Only then I was able to appreciate life and see all the colors and the beauty around me. And only then was I able to develop patience. So now when people are worried about the next big thing, when you're really anxious and you're stressing about something, just push pause. Take a deep breath. See, you'll never get today back. You'll never be 16 or 17 years old again. I feel like I've lost years out of my life. I was perfectly able-bodied and quote-unquote normal for 22 years and then was taken away. So enjoy what you have now. Appreciate it. For this moment that you have will never return to you again. And I read the program, we'll talk about Muhammad Ali, right? It was patience isn't always working hard and trying to go for that goal. It's not about that. It's not about being patient all the time. I'm sorry, I'm going against the program at the beginning. But it's about knowing that this moment that you have right now, that you'll never get it back. You get to appreciate this moment, or if you don't, then it will all be taken away from you, just like it was for me. So just breathe, dear friends. I'm going to end this little section with another quote by Paulo Coelho, the author of The Alchemist. Tell your heart that the fear of suffering is worse than Tell your heart that the fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself, and that no heart has ever suffered when it goes in search of its dreams. Every second of a search is a second encounter with God and with eternity. So that brings me to my third and final point that I want to discuss of how we bring patience to our lives. And that's tawakkul, having total trust in God. If you're a fan of The Alchemist, that I quoted in there, they say, they use the word maktub, remember? Which means it is written. So, what does that mean to y'all? What do you guys, anyone want to offer an explanation of the word tawakkul and having total trust in God? What does it mean to you personally, having total trust in God? Ahmed,
I participate too much, so I don't know.
No, go ahead.
Well, to me, it means that no matter what happens, there's always, it's always for our benefit. That it's not just, things aren't just happening to us to spite us. It's always to benefit us in some way. And anything that happens, you have to just try to figure out what's the benefit. even though you might not know it, like you just have to figure out like this is all for good things. Like this is all for something good.
Okay. It's good. That's pretty much what pretty much what it means. Yes, absolutely. So I'll tell you what it means to me personally. Like from my life. So maybe after this, you guys can reflect upon your own lives and what it means to y'all. So to me personally, this means that I was actually thankful that I was put in this position. Thankful that I was the one lying there in the hospital bed. That was the one facing the circumstances. That was me, the danger. Because it seems like everything in this world, everything in this universe, there's sort of balance there. There has to be some sort of pain for us to appreciate happiness, right? You have to be able to face pain to appreciate joy. You have to be able to face death to appreciate life. So I don't mind carrying around this pain and going through this. It means happiness for myself I can appreciate, or happiness that others can appreciate. I don't mind at all. I know it's all part of a plan, even though I can't see it now. There's something written out there. So let's bring me to the end. Hopefully you guys have learned something about the person next to you, about other people, and you guys definitely learned something about me because I've definitely opened up to y'all. So just a recap of the 3 points I want you guys to take home. Hopefully learn something from this. For point number 1, remember, was instilling patience when you talk to other people, and losing that ego that separates what we want and what we think from other people. Because a lot of times we get impatient with our parents, with our friends. We don't know what they're going through. We don't know what they've been through in their past. Why they're getting impatient? Just in the same exact way, they don't know what we've been through, right? They don't know what makes us impatient. So when something's irritating you, just take a deep breath and remind yourself that. And remember, you aren't special. I'm sorry. You gotta have to drop that ego. It's blocking that view. So here. And there's a nice quote by H. Jackson Brown. He's another author. He wrote a book called Life's Little Instruction Book. He said, remember that everyone you meet is afraid of something, loves something, and has lost something. So, point number 2 I made was about appreciating the moment that you have, not always worrying about the next big thing, the next best thing. And the quote I want to leave you guys with here is another one from The Alchemist. It says, I don't live in either my past or my future. I'm interested only in the present. If you can concentrate always on the present, you'll be a happy man. Life will be a party for you. A grand festival, because life is the moment we're living now. And I don't know if you guys like Flaming Lips, an old band, but they one of the things they've written is, do you realize that you have the most beautiful face? Do you realize we're floating in space? Do you realize that happiness makes you cry? Do you realize that everyone you know someday will die? And instead of saying all of your goodbyes, let them know you realize that life goes fast. It's hard to make the good things last. You realize the sun doesn't go down. It's just an illusion caused by the world spinning around. And the third point I made is, knowing that there's a plan laid out for all of us, that we must trust it. Even more so, that no amount of patience or frustration is ever going to change everything. It's all counterproductive. The way we can react to any event, to anything that faces us, that we face, you can either react to it positively or negatively. Anything negative is just counterproductive. Anything positive will only help us. So with that, I just want to end with Surah 65, verse 13. And whoever puts all his trust in God, he'll be enough for him. So with that, I open the floor for any questions. You guys have any questions?
I have a question.
Sir.
So, even today, I'm sure you still go through. I mean, well, let me ask you: do you still go through those feelings that you had about like where you feel like you don't appreciate the lot you have in life, and how do you deal with that? Like, what do you do to?
You're asking
If you still struggle with those feelings.
still struggle with appreciating life? No. I mean, up to even like a couple of years ago, I would always think, oh man, this kind of sucks, being in this situation. But I never thought, why am I the one in the situation? Why not someone else? Or I was never thinking, I was never to the point where I was sad about life itself. I wasn't like, oh man, life sucks. No, because I always knew that there's so much out here. I mean, it just boggles me sometimes when I hear about people who just want to take their lives. I was actually approached by someone. I don't know if you guys are a fan of Reddit. Reddit.com. I mean, someone actually messaged me on there about, or I saw a post about, hey, one of my best friends, she got into a car accident, and now she's paralyzed from the waist down. She's really depressed. Can you give me some advice? So, I messaged him, we talked a little bit. I told him, how he needs to support his friend, and let his friend know that, it's not the end of the world. We're given these things, but we deal with them. There's so much out there. There's so much beauty in this world. Turned out, apparently, that what I said wasn't that great, and she ended up taking her life. But, I'll never understand how people can take their lives when there's nothing you can change by taking your life. I mean, I know this talk isn't about suicide, but I just never understand. Anyone else? Yes.
So what motivates you to go throughout your day and like everything that you had before, and I'm sure it has changed now, your daily routine. So what motivated you to go through all of that?
What motivated me was actually a lot of it had to do with my family and friends. They're a big support to me, but they were also the ones kind of watching me. And I knew if I let things bog me down, if I became depressed about things, that would make them depressed. But I knew if I dealt with everything in a happy way, if I was happy about everything, that would make everyone else happy. I mean, who doesn't want that? So I never let anything put me down. I never let anything depress me because I couldn't see anyone else depressed. That would hurt me. That would kill me if someone I knew was depressed. So I made a conscious decision to not let others put me down. And that's what. A lot of part it was. Sometimes even if I was sad, I never showed it. I never even got the opportunity to show sometimes that I was hurting. Because that was a good thing. Because in the end, it just helped me and helped the other people around me. So that's what. Anyone else? Yes.
So I know people that went through a similar situation, but they're not even paralyzed at all. They're 100% back to the way they were before. But yet something was different in what you went through and what they went through because they lost their Islam. See what I'm saying? So what really I'm trying to understand what was different and what made you go even I venture to say more on the deen and more conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after your accident and the other ones decided to go the complete opposite way, and you're the one that's in the wheelchair and they're completely healthy now. But they went through the car accident and now it's like, oh, I don't believe because of this, that, and that.
Well, I had mentioned to you that in every circumstance, we can react to things in two ways, either positively or negatively. We could ask ourselves, why me? Why did God put me in this situation? Why am I in this situation? Why isn't someone else? I didn't deserve this, we can ask ourselves that with everything. I feel like a lot of people do ask themselves that, and they take the situation and become bitter. I was in the hospital, people who are very bitter about their circumstances. They're angry. They got angry at their wives, their family members. It's easy to get frustrated, get angry at God, angry, at the heavens, throw your hands up in the air. But it's just it's counterproductive. I can't answer what the difference was between me and them, why they blamed blamed the heavens, why they saw it as an opportunity to just lose faith in things. But I think a lot of it also has to do with the fact that we consider ourselves special. We consider ourselves different. And so it's like y'all are young now. Y'all are like 16, 17 years old. I doubt y'all actually have this. Forgive me for saying that, but I know when I was 16 or 17 years old, I didn't know what it would be like to even have everything taken away from me, or death. Death is such a strange concept to me. We think that can't happen to us, We all think that, that happens to other people, that doesn't happen to us. So that might be it as well. Anyone else? Yes.
How did your experience make you closer to God? How that experience made you feel or react positively instead of negatively? And I am sure you mentioned that you don't want your family to feel sad and therefore you keep it inside. How can you also have a relief to express your inner feelings without having to worry again about the others thinking always sad and it's kind of a vicious circle.
Yeah. Well, I remember speaking to my uncle in Pakistan. He is a very strong guy. He was ex-military, and he one thing he said to me is like, Hammad, be strong, but not for yourself. Be strong for your parents. He's like, be strong for your family. He's like, I know some of them aren't as strong as you, or they tend to cry. They're a little bit. They may be weaker. So don't just be strong for yourself. Be strong for them. So I knew that it wasn't something I had to bear myself. I had to do it for other people. So that's probably why I lean towards that. And what was the first question you asked me again?
About how there is a connection with God that will help you live through the difficulties you've been through. What is it that you closer to come to the point of realization that everything that happens is for a reason and everything is good because it's from God? How did you accept it?
Well, that was something that took time as well, and it really bugs me. Not bugs. I'm sorry, it really doesn't bug me, but it's something. It made an impression on me that even though I was going through these things, there were so many people out there who weren't going through the things I was going through, but it still had like such miserable lives that they were dealing with their own circumstances. They had lost faith in everything. They lost faith in the heavens. They lost faith in God. They lost faith in other people. And over what? Over simple things. So that really made a big impression on me. I thought, if I'm able to go through this and still able to keep my sanity, still able to keep my head, then there must be something. I don't know what I'm talking about now. There must be something out there. There must be it's for example, it's all the way we react to things, and I don't even know what I'm saying.
Close to God.
I'm talking about train of thought.
Closeness to God.
Closeness to God, yes. So that it doesn't matter if that I'm put in the situation that I can blame God or blame someone else or blame other people. It's not about blaming people. It's not about blaming God or losing faith. Is that there's, I knew that if I was put into this and I could still be happy that there's a plan for this. That there's a reason for this. That I'm still, even though I'm I was put into this situation, and I will, hopefully, inshallah, become a doctor in a year. I'll have my MD. I feel like I can, for example, make more of an effect on my patients than if I was just 100% completely able-bodied. So was that the reason I was put into this situation? Who knows? But as I said, my third point, tawakkul, having trust that there's always a plan. That I know that there's a plan. Anyone else?
I have a comment.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah, your personality, mashallah, that chair doesn't define who you are. Your personality, alhamdulillah, because you have people who, as he mentioned, people who have been in the same situation, alhamdulillah, now they're walking. But then sometimes people become ungrateful. So this is a way of humbling people, so that we always remember, alhamdulillah, ala kulli hal, in all circumstances, in all conditions, we praise Allah. Because like you said, you could have been a couple of seconds or a couple of inches away from being either healthy or dead. So alhamdulillah, it's a way that, with your personality and the way that you carry yourself, this doesn't define you, because you're not sobbing and I'm this way and this way and this way, because no, so your personality is an inspiration, for other medical students, your patients, as well as everybody that's here. So alhamdulillah, may Allah reward you, for being the example that you are, alhamdulillah.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Do we have someplace to go right now, or do I still have a few minutes?
Yeah, I think that's it. The next was Imam Bilal, but yeah.
Well, do you have time to speak? Or?
If we can, inshallah, if we can continue, because we're late, I can incorporate this with my next one.
There's 30 minutes left, so if you're done, then.
Yeah, I'm done. If you want to move to more, there's something I could actually. This book just dropped out, but my pocket. I could read you guys a paragraph from here that also brings some perspective. If that's okay.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes.
And then I'll be done. This book is The Death of Ivan Ilyich by Leo Tolstoy.
The death of what?
The Death of Ivan Ilyich by Leo Tolstoy. In this book, this guy is dying. Ivan Ilyich. He knows he's dying. But he can't really relate to that. So you can see here, he says, now, don't worry about it. But you guys read this book, it's good for getting perspective. Thank you, I'm done.